notice that people who eat when they're under stress or to reward themselves are generally overweight. People who spend money to reward themselves are generally broke. People who exercise to reward themselves are in really good physical fitness, and people who read when they want to reward themselves are some of the smartest and best read people ever. So what you do to reward yourself is important, and most people who get into credit card debt reward themselves and others by spending money. Now, once you've realized that you can't spend any more money and you have to pay cash for everything, now you need to get out of the credit card debt. So the first thing is to make a list of everything that you owe. This will be really depressing because most people who are in credit card debt have never really kept an accounting of what they owe. So you make a list of it all, who you owe, how much you owe to, and what interest rate you have to pay to them. And then you call them all and you say, I can't pay this if you can't pay it, and I need to renegotiate the terms, but I can pay it if you lower the interest rate to this, or I can pay it if you lower the interest rate to this, or I can pay so much a month, and you need to negotiate with all of them. They will all want more money, and you need to hold the line. The choice is that you either pay them or you won't pay them, and you have bankruptcy in the back of your pocket to threaten. No one wants you to go into bankruptcy, including and especially the people you owe money to, because they will get nothing if you go into bankruptcy. And if you have trouble doing that, there are some nonprofit credit counseling places that can help you do that negotiation. Now, I will tell you, not only will they try to get money from you, they'll try to get as much money instantly as possible. And the one thing you don't want to do is to give them a big lump one time. Because if it's the phone company and you give them a big lump one time, they'll still cancel your service, but now at least they've gotten as much as they're going to get. So what you want to do is you want to continue making payments for as long as it takes for you to get out of financial debt, and then they will come back to you and say, well, as long as they're making payments, we need to keep their service up. And so you're trying to negotiate that with them. And it's harder, I will tell you, it's harder to negotiate with credit cards than it is not to get into the credit card debt in the first place. But if you negotiate with all of them, then you can begin to sort of make payments. You need to be making progress, and you need to be making progress that will pay off your credit card in 2 to 3 years' debt. And if you're doing that process, then they'll work with you. If you can't do that process, bankruptcy is the right option. So then you want to be paying most of it toward the highest interest as much as possible each week, each month. You need to be putting maybe 35% of your take-home pay toward credit reduction. The other 65% is what you need to live off of. And what you're going to find is moving backward on your standard of living is incredibly painful. Moving forward on your standard of living and spending more is always easy, but moving backward is painful. And I've known people who are in credit card debt, and I start asking them, well, they have 6 cell phones in their household. They all have unlimited minutes with the maximum number of features. They have a cable package that's better than mine. They have high-speed internet. They have a gym membership. They have all of these different things, which are monthly charges that go out every single month. You want to cancel as many of those as possible for the season of getting out of credit card debt. You should live as frugally as possible. So you should cancel everything. If there's a doubt, cancel it. And then after you've gotten out of credit card debt, you can try putting some of those back in, but you'll put them out in a much more sensible way. And you'll have learned whether or not you miss them. And I know, again, I can hear it. I deserve to be able to have high-speed internet and a cable package and everything else. Yes, you do, but first you deserve to be on a firm financial footing. Getting out of credit card debt is very difficult. It takes both husband and wife being on board, and it takes involving the kids. So you need to build that support network around you and get everyone trying to pull in the same direction. It's not fair to say, oh, well, my spouse spends most of the money, and so that's really their problem. If you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. And it's not fair to burden your spouse with all of the spending and then not help them figure out how they can make ends meet on the budget that you have. You have to get involved, and you have to be able to be the one who's working through that. Again, there's a lot more information beyond this point, but the first steps are these, and they're critical to get started with.